Well, how y'all are this afternoon? This your buddy George Jones down here at the Knob Creek Gun Range on the lower with my video on people are carbine crazy. They're just crazy about carbines. It's gotten to be a sickness with some people. So I got a thing in the comments sometime back about how many variations on carbines are available and what kind of carbines are out there. And I'm here to tell you they're all the same on the inside. This particular model is a Plainfield. Now, Plainfield marketed this stock configuration back in the 70s. It's definitely not GI. You can't call it a paratrooper. It's a pretty good carbine. It's got a forward grip on it. It has this swell in there to accommodate this, the collapsible stock, which is much like the stock on a grease gun. After a fashion, it's somewhat similar to the stock on a grease gun. It's a pretty effective stock. I mean, it's a little wobbly and so forth, but it is something to brace up on your shoulders so you can get a good sight picture and hold it. But it's a Plainfield. Now, Plainfield carbines are as close to GI spec as any commercially made carbine can be. This one's got a Type 2 rear sight on it. It's got, this stock has been cut out when it was manufactured for the M2 selector switch, even though, you know, this gun was made well after the M2 carbine era. And it's marked Plainfield Machine Company, which is also Iver Johnson. Metal top cover, a good gun. I mean, the Plainfield is as good a carbine configuration as you can get commercially. And that's, if you see this guy around, these are quite expensive in this configuration because of the rarity of it. This stock by itself is worth several $100s, and you know, it's just one of the variations on a carbine that you see out there, and it's worth mentioning. Now here's a carbine. This is my Auto-Ordnance. This is another commercial carbine that if you wanted a commercial carbine, you know, and didn't want to have to pay $2,500 for a GI World War II carbine, you know, you could get this guy and be into it for about 12 fingers. I didn't pay that for this one. I got this one when it was a little bit cheaper, and it's a good carbine, and I shoot this one a lot. Genuine World War II configuration M1 carbine. That's this guy. This is a Postal meter. We're looking at me. Yeah. This one is a Postal meter. This is manufactured by United States Postal Meters, and it is except for the Type 3 rear sight that's been installed, this one is a genuine full blast World War II carbine. It's correct in every way. Of course, it doesn't have a sling and so forth, accessories on it, but this is in fact a World War II carbine. Now it's got potbelly wood on it, probably because the original stock wore out on it. It's a potbelly stock, but it's not cut out for an M2 selector right here. Okay, so it's probably post-war stock, but you know, it's a Postal meter, so it's a really good carbine. Got single rivet top cover on it. The wood matches nicely. You know, it has a type 2 band on the end of it, but the sling swivels broke off. This gun's still worth 14 fingers on its very worst day. Here we have an Underwood. Here we got an Underwood. Now I've got one almost exactly like this one. It's got a type 3 rear sight on it. Lever selector installed on it. Single rivet, you know, 2 rivet. It's been equipped with a bayonet lug. So it was probably, with the bayonet lug and the sighting system, was probably redone for the Korean conflict. Got original sling on it, got original mag pouch on it, you know. How much it worth? Well, it's like 15 or 16 fingers. Okay, these guys are expensive propositions anymore. There's another, that's the same Postal meter we're looking at. Here's another Postal meter. Now, I don't think Postal meters were originally M1A1 carbines. They weren't originally paratrooper carbines. This guy's been added. But it is Postal meter, and it does have an L sight on it that's been modified down to a notch instead of a peep, you know, which takes away from it a little bit. But it has a folding stock on it like an M1A1 carbine would have, except this folding stock is cut out for an M2 selector. I don't know that they had paratrooper M2s. You know, I'd have to read up on it some more. But it has original type 1 band on it, L sight, flat bolt. You know, it's in pretty good shape. And as it sits, this is probably 20 fingers. You'd have to do 20 fingers for this guy. You know, crazy prices. Now here's something that's really peculiar that you don't see very often. That carbine mag went somewhere, that goes with that one. Yeah, okay. Here's something you don't see very often at all. They manufactured these from the 1970s up until 1994. This is a universal carbine pistol, known as the Enforcer. This one's been worked on a little bit. It does work. As a matter of fact, I'm going to shoot it. I got Benghazi Bob up over there. We're going to put a cartridge or two in it and try it out right quick. Because, frankly, I've never shot one. Never shot one of these. So we're going to fire rotate it a few times. Got some kind of Winchester vintage ammo here. I guess I'll need some earplugs. Earmuffs. I'll need some earmuffs. I'm definitely going to need some earmuffs. Better go get those. Stand by. Well, the world used to be crazy for Cocoa Puffs. Now, they're crazy for carbines. Any kind of carbine you can get your hands on. You know, I've got 2 or 3. I guess I'm going to have some safety glasses too. So I'm well prepared when I do these videos. You know. I'm always well prepared when I do these videos. YouTube moderator, this is a 15-round magazine. I'm going to install my suppressors. Okay. I'm going to rack this guy back. If I can find out how it goes in there. Alright. Got one in there? Yeah, got one in there. Alright, let's see how it shoots. I shoot a pistol right-handed. This is an awkward arrangement right here. I don't know how you... Oh, that's nice and loud right there, buddy. That's nice and loud. I'm really impressed with how loud that is. I can't hit nothing with it. That's a 30 caliber carbine out of a 9-inch barrel. That's a... Yeah, I know why I never bothered to buy one. That's hot. Right down in the old shoe. Well, I'm glad that's over. I didn't hit poor old Benghazi Bob once, you know. That's a loud arrangement right there. What a, that's a, yeah. That 30 was in, 30 was in that carbine. Who's this? Make up my mind whose gun is, whose gun belongs to who. Here. I have the firearms of 4 different collectors on me right now, and it's like I've got to try and keep this thing straight. The most expensive gun here is probably the Underwood and the Postal meter. They're the most expensive to get your hands on. They're Rockolas, Standard Products. I think Standard Products is the best carbine, but I couldn't find one. Couldn't find one, or couldn't find one that anybody would loan me. Let's put it that way. So what's on this table right here, you could probably retire on if you had all the money for it. The plain field, let's shoot it. Let's see how it works. Let's put a couple in the old plain field, try it out. Now the plain field carbines were the closest. They're like the Auto-Ordnance. They're real close to being the original configuration of a World War II carbine. They have cross-bolt safeties instead of lever safeties. When they came out originally, they all had L sights. They all had good GI style wood on them. But the plain field, like the Auto-Ordnance, is a brand new made carbine. It's not a surplus parts gun like a Universal is. It has a Federal Ordnance or something like that, you know. they're all new made parts, mostly made in Italy. So they're like Beretta, you know. Let's give it a little extension right there. Pull that guy out there. See if we can run one up in it. There we go. There's one up in it. All right, Bob, this is your chance. Oh yeah. Yeah, old Benghazi Bob riddled up in the face. Where's that Auto-Ordnance at? Let's shoot it. The thing about it is, would you buy a commercial current production 30 caliber carbine over a World War II carbine? Well, if you collected World War II carbines, you know, you'd probably buy the World War II carbine. The thing about it is, a World War II carbine has got 80-year-old parts in it. We don't know how it's been treated. We got no idea what kind of condition it is in internally. When you're looking at it on a gun shop shelf, you say, oh, let me see that carbine. You know, you're not going to take it apart. You're not going to gauge parts. You're not going to look at the internal condition of the gun overall. You know, you're going to buy it. And then you're going to take it out and shoot it. Well, you take it out and shoot it, you know, you get what you get. There's no way to know what you're getting. At least if you buy a new commercial carbine, you've got something to take out and shoot that's got you know, it's got your new parts in it, you know, and that's an advantage because, you know, you got something. Put down there where I'll put these on. Let's try old Benghazi Bob again. So this is an Auto-Ordnance. This is a new carbine, probably manufactured in the last, oh, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. You know, so for a shooter, this is the way you want to go. Good running gun. I've got one just like it. And so people are crazy for carbines. They cost a lot of money. They probably cost more money than they're actually worth. 10 years ago, you could buy an Underwood or a Rockola for 400 bucks. Today, any one of the original World War II carbines, you know, are well over 10 fingers. This guy, they haven't made since 1994, the Joe Biden assault weapons ban. Was it a ban? I don't know if it was a ban or not. Put this guy out of business. Plainfield manufactured a version of this as well. You know, they quit making the Enforcer version and started making this. Okay, well that's about the size of it. Gets to look at 6 different carbine variants and know a little bit more about them, have some idea what they're worth. Like to take, share, find, commentate, and subscribe. Leave me a $1 in the Patreon box if you want to, and if you don't, I'll keep right on making content for you. Get out there and check on the old people in this hot weather, will you? Some of them are too proud to ask for help. Maybe they sit right there in their apartments and their houses without air conditioning, refrigeration, or even electricity and just die. You know, because, you know, they're old people and they're too proud. They deserve to be proud, but, you know, get out there and check on them. There's people out there that consider themselves good citizens that would never think about going up to an elderly person's door and knocking on the door and saying, "How you doing today, ma'am?" You know? All right then. God bless America. God bless each and every one of us. God bless Donald Trump. And we'll see you when we see you. Bye now. Now I'm by myself, so I gotta get up and turn it off.